G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So going to be doing another 5 battles here, looking at the Master League. So I have switched up my team a little bit, but I've gone back to sort of a very, very meta team. So Dialga, Giratina and Metagross. So I think the big difference is the only difference that I'm really having is what you start with. So a couple of the things that I'd like to try. I would like to have a Melmetal that was worth powering up and throwing out there, because I think Melmetal with Superpower and Rock Slide is a really good lead, just because it's got so much potential to bait with shields, and you can get those fast charge moves off really, really quickly. So I think Melmetal on the lead is a really good one, and it does seem to be what a lot of people are leading with. So what I might do is swap my Giratina to the lead, and see how that works out. So let's just go. So I'm going to swap that to the lead and we'll see how that goes. But one of the big things I find is running. If you win the lead matchup, usually people have the same set, so it's all good. I would like to be honest, I'd like to swap out my Giratina for Melmetal, just because for the reasons I stated earlier, and then run 2 steel type, well, all 3 steel types to be completely honest, just because that counters most of the other meta. So we'll see how we go. I'll jump in and kick this off. So let's see how we go. Akon 50 up first. Let's see what they lead with. So that is not good for me. So let's see how we go here. So obviously, that's really not good for me at all. Let's see if they stay in. Interesting. So they're staying in. So this is probably going to be a crunch. Yep. Which is fine. So they did a... so I think I'm just going to pull the trigger on Draco Meteor here. Let's see what they do. I'm really hoping to... so I didn't manage to... got a bit of lag there. So against the Swampert, I guess I'll throw out my own Giratina. I'm going to Ominous Wind here. So what I should have done is waited for a bit longer before I swapped over my Pokemon. So the question is... so that's a fair bit of damage there. And so that's gone really poorly for me. So now I'm going to have to shield this up. And they're just going to fast move farm me down. That is brutal. So I've got 2 shields, and let's just throw an Earthquake straight off the bat, because I don't want to take a fast move. So I probably should have waited a little longer there. Let's see what happens here. I'm really hoping to be able to get this off. Come on. So we'll shield this, obviously, and then try and get my... I'm really hoping I can get to this charge move. So they've got to the Hydro Cannon. Let's see what happens. Come on. Yes, and got there. So managed to pull out the win there, so really happy with that, with 1 shield remaining and basically no health. So I really should have shielded something a bit earlier, but I mean, I got away with 1 there, so happy days. So let's jump into the next one. What have we got? I'll run the same line. Lots of people are leading with Dialga, which is a big problem, because obviously Giratina versus Dialga is a really bad matchup for me. So I'm hoping I don't get that lead, and we'll see what happens. So leading with a Tyranitar was also a really bad lead for me, but a bit of a different one because I don't see many Tyranitar around. So that's a good lead for me. So they are going to switch straight out. Let's see what they switch to. So they're not switching, so that's really interesting. So there we go, there's the switch. So I'm going to switch to my own Dialga there. So maybe that was the wrong move to make. Let's see what they do. So this should just be an Iron Head, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to overcharge this a bit, maybe. Let's see what happens here. And I'm going to throw this Draco Meteor, so hopefully they don't want to go 2 shields down to me, and they don't, so that's taken that one out. So I'm going to swap straight in with this, and I'm going to go straight into my Ominous Wind here. Let's hope that they will shield this one for sure. That's fine. So I'm going to obviously match their shield here. And now I'm a little worried about them switching this out, because that would be the play I would do. So this is a difficult one, because obviously, let's see what they do here. If they shield this, then happy days. And I can go straight into my Shadow Ball. And then that should almost take them out. Ooh, so it doesn't. So I'm not going to shield that, obviously. Let it take me out, and then we'll have a Melmetal Mirror. I'll be up a shield, and they'll be... and they're not going to get to 2... Actually, I won't even go for the... so attack incoming, so I will shield that. And then the question is, do I go for my Earthquake, or do I go... So now I think I will go for the Earthquake. So had they not gone for the Earthquake, I might have gone straight for Meteor Mash, but because they went for Earthquake, I'll go for it, because they just don't have enough energy to beat me there. So... game number 2, so good game. Let's see what we get next. So I got a really lucky lead there, and I'll stick with that line of 3, and we'll see how we go. So I think the big thing is that lead matchup. So let's see what I get. So there's mine, obviously. And so the mirror, so let's see what the CP of theirs is. So mine is slightly better, which is good. So let's see what they do here. So they've shielded, so that's good for me. So I'm going to shield as well. It probably is the Ominous Wind, but I can't take that risk. Looks like I really should have. Let's see what they do with their next one. So I'm going to shield again. Let's see what they do. So they have Ominous Wind baited again, so I'm going to have to do the same. Let's see what they do. So they may let this one go. No, so they haven't. So they've shielded that one as well. So the question is, I'm going to go straight Ominous Wind here. If that doesn't kill, what I'm going to do is... Ooh, so that was the wrong switch to make. Oh, that's awful. So I wanted to go for my Dialga and then get a... get a few Dragon Breaths off, but because I thought they were going to save up 4, and so that's really not going well for me. Let's see if I can get to this. Oh, so they've swapped out perfectly there. Let's see what they've got. So this is not good at all. So that's a really good switch on their part. So let's see if I can farm this down. So obviously no shield, so I'm going to have to make the call on what to do here. So the surfs are not going to be very effective, so that works out alright, and I've switch locked this in. So I'm going to farm this down like you wouldn't believe, and really hope that they haven't got enough to throw straight out. Let's see what they've got. I'm going to Draco Meteor this, so I know that Iron Head's going to be effective, but with no shield and this being their last Pokemon, got to go the Draco Meteor to do huge amounts of damage. So good game there. So that was a good switch on their part, but they didn't have the Pokemon in the back to counter me well, so that worked out okay. So let's jump into the next one. So getting fairly lucky with the leads so far, so I haven't run into that Dialga lead. Obviously, now that I say that, hello Dialga. Togekiss, so that's not a good lead for me. So I'm just thinking what I do here. So I'm going to save up to my Shadow Ball, and then I'm going to throw it. Let's see what they do here. So they may shield this, they may not. If they don't shield, I'm in all sorts of trouble, and I'm in all sorts of trouble. So let's see if I can get that out. So that's going to be... It's going to have to be the Ancient Power. It is perfect, and then they're going to switch out. So not so perfect. So this is not great for me. So I'm going to have to get a whole lot of lag here, so that's not ideal. So I'm just going to... And I'm going to go for a Meteor Mash, and really hope that I bait a shield out here. I probably won't, to be completely honest, because, yeah, so that's not ideal. Let's see if I can get there. So the question is, do I shield this or do I let it go? I think I'm just going to let it go. Let's see. So I got the Meteor Mash off, which is quite good. So they're either going to have to shield or take huge damage. So let's see. So I'm down. So the problem is going to be they're going to bring out their straight back out with that Togekiss, which is fine. So I'm going to have to switch out, throw the Ominous Wind here. So they should shield this one. Let's see what they do. So they've not shielded that. What are they keeping in the back? What have they got in the back that needs so many shields? So that's really interesting. So they must have something weak to... Oh, so that's... yeah, that's not going to happen, because obviously 2 shields versus 0 shields, that's real poor. So Togekiss is a problem there. Nothing. Oh, so I've got 2 shields as well. I'd completely forgotten that I had 2 shields. For some reason I thought I'd burnt my shields. Let's throw straight into this. I obviously can't win this matchup because I've down on so much down on health. So really I should have blocked earlier. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So going down with 1 shield left. Would have been good to shield something earlier. One of those surfs from the Kyogre on my Giratina would have been the way to go, but it is what it is, so let's jump into the next one. So obviously the worst matchup at the start is, so that's a bad matchup for me at the start, with a Charm user, so hopefully I don't get that and I don't get a Dialga. So this one's okay. Let's see what they do. So this looks like they're staying in. So interesting. So I'm going to charge up to a Shadow Ball and then throw the Ominous Wind. So lots of people don't actually shield this first one because they think it is the bait. And so yeah, they've not shielded it either. So I'm going to have to charge up to another one. So Rock Wrecker is going to do a fair bit of damage, so I'm actually going to shield this up because they're not switching out. So I think that's going to... Oh, so now they've switched, so what have they got? So I'm going to switch as well, straight to my Dialga. So they are up a shield. So this is going to be the Dragon Claw, so it's not going to do huge amounts of damage, but it will be reasonable. So I'll let it go through. I want to hit this Iron Head, and this gives them the thought, oh, do they shield or do they not? So they probably won't shield, to be completely honest. Let it go down, which they have, which is fine with me. Let's see what they've got coming out here. So let's hope they throw a charge move, which they haven't. So the question is, what do I go with? So I'm going to throw my own charge move, which they will shield, which is absolutely fine because I need them to start burning some shields here. Oh, so they've not shielded this either. So this is really interesting. So I think I'm going to let this go through. So it's a superpower. Oh, so that's an absolutely amazing leave. So this is not too bad for me. With my third one out, it is going to absolutely wreck them. So I don't need this charge move. They'll get to a charge move. I can shield that up, and then I can fast move farm them down. I won't even throw much fast move because there's no point. They're going to shield it up. So I'm just going to fast move farm it down, and they end with 2 shields. Oh, so that's interesting. I didn't actually realize I'd swapped out. So there we go, 2 shields and job done. So that's 4 quick battles there, and that seems to be a team that does well. So obviously not great off the lead if you hit a Dialga or a Togekiss. So Togekiss was okay, except for I didn't play particularly well. But I mean, that seems like the team to go for. So let's see what Pokemon I get to encounter. So it's Landorus, which is fine. So 1974. So I think that's exactly the same as the one I got yesterday, and his terrible stats. So it's something like 10 12 or 10 12 10 or just something awful. But I mean, it's a bit more candy, and with the lockdown in effect, it means I've got one to trade with other people who haven't actually got a chance to get one. So it's not too bad. Let's hope it actually stays in the ball. So if this is the first video you're watching where I'm actually trying to catch something, so when it comes to legendaries, so what I like to do is obviously wait for the attack. So halfway through the attack, or obviously attacks take different lengths of time, you throw so you're not getting your ball knocked away. It's obviously more important during raid battles because you have a limited number of balls. When it comes to research rewards or to go battle league rewards, you obviously get all the balls that you have in your at your disposal, so you're all good. But when it comes to raid battles, you want to wait for that attack, and the reason for that is because then you can obviously not waste balls by getting them hit away. So I wait for it to get into the middle, lock my circle size on small, or lock your circle size on something you can hit, and then wait for the attack, throw, so the ball hits just after the animation of the attack finishes, just because then at least if you can get it in the ball every time, you've got more of a chance. So when I first started, what I would do is wait for the attack and throw for a nice, then I slowly worked down to a great, and now I've moved to the excellent throws. So give it a try. So the way you lock your circle is by, spinning the ball, getting the circle size you're happy with, and then moving your finger all the way to the bottom of the screen. That will then mean that it sticks the circle size at that distance, as long as when it starts attacking so the Pokemon starts attacking in the next animation, you spin the ball during the entire time during that attack animation and throw during that attack animation. It won't change the circle size. So that's what you can do, and then so you need to spin, throw late, so the animation obviously stops before your ball hits it, and then it'll hit at the circle size that you locked onto. So give that a go, especially now with some of these, with the reward being Landorus. If you miss your circle size or throw too early and it's still attacking, you can sort of work that out now, because to be honest, it doesn't really matter when you're using your own Pokeballs. You've got as many as you want, so just, hopefully you've got some. If not, add some friends, get some gifts sent to you, and all is good. So that's what you can do to increase your catch rates, for more importantly for raids. But that's that for now. So let's see how we did here. So 4 wins, so 20-48. So that's pretty good going. I am happy with that. Obviously, 4 out of 5 is really good, and let's see how we go. So 24-08 to beat, so 24-35. So that's gone up a reasonable amount, so I am happy with that one. So what I'm going to do is put that in the bank and move on. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. If you want to know more about the getting better throws, so as you can see when I was throwing there, I did alright, hit a few excellents there. I have got a video on improving your excellent curveballs, excellent throws, and a way to do that. So I'll be honest with you, it's not rocket science, it's all about practice, but go check out that video, and that might help. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.